150,000 Sputnik-V vaccine doses arrival in India from Russia last night in a bid to aid the country ravaged by COVID-19. India recorded more than 400,000 new COVID-19 cases for the first time on Saturday as a devastating second wave rages through the country. And while India is the world's biggest producer of COVID-19 vaccines, shortages of the shots in some states hindered the opening of vaccinations for all adults. Well, joining us now from Delhi in India is the South African High Commissioner, Sbu Ndebele. Mr. Ndebele, thank you so much for your time. Now, we've seen the most shocking images coming out of India. Can you describe what is happening right now in that country, in your view?
Thank you very much. I hope, we hope that we'll be better prepared when the third wave comes to us. Yeah, right now it's quite a devastating situation. It's good that vaccines are coming all over, and vaccination has started for 18-year-olds upwards, so that I hope it will mitigate what is happening right now. But the critical thing that we're having is a shortage of oxygen. One just thinks back that one used to say that as free as oxygen. Free oxygen is not as free as what one thought. So the most valued possession now, it's one family to have a cylinder of oxygen. So that is what is the critical thing. And the international help that is coming is assisting quite a lot.
Talking about international help, some countries, I think over 40, have raised their hands to assist India, including South Africa. Talk to us about South Africa's role and how you are facilitating that aid.
Well, the international community has come on board in a very big way, which is very good in terms of international solidarity. South Africa is one of the countries that have offered to help, and that is being facilitated by DECO, Department of International Relations, and cooperation with the NGO, with our NGO that is being facilitated to get the vaccine, to get the free oxygen, because the most critical thing is the obtaining of oxygen, and the gift of the givers is working with the DECO to facilitate that.
Well, there's been many questions raised about just how this sort of situation has gotten out of hand. The country has 1.3 billion people, as we know. What do we know about what actually triggered the rise in numbers? I mean, we know that there was a time when the Prime Minister of that country allowed mass rallies and gatherings, etc. What's your assessment?
Well, we can only look back in order to get strength to face the future. I think what is more important is that now. But of course, some of the gatherings were of a religious nature, that people went to the Ganges River to dip the almost 1 to 3 million at one time. So that was a super spreader. And of course, there's been an election going on in some 5 states, and that has been quite a super spreader as well. One just hopes that now the results are out, that one is not going to have celebrations that might be another super spreader. But those are the sort of things that sort of triggered the wave that has enveloped India up to now.
But also... And, Continue, Ambassador.
No, go on. Yeah, well, the reaction of the government, one of the key reactions has been the vaccination that started on Saturday for 18-year-olds upwards. So that I think that is going to be one good thing that comes out of this.
I mean, earlier you mentioned South Africa, and you mentioned, the fears around a possible third wave. But some of the key learnings that you are getting from India, given this, rise in numbers, what are some of the takeouts that you are learning from that country? Also, particularly in terms of how the government is dealing with the situation. I mean, a lot of the times we've seen that some of the rationale just doesn't make sense as it relates to that country. For instance, it appears that people living in the big cities are now being allowed to go to villages. What is the rationale of that?
Yes, it's a bit difficult because when there is lockdown in the big cities like Delhi, it's good for Delhi, it's good for Mumbai, but people then go to their villages, and which again spreads the COVID throughout the country. We hope that there will be some lessons out of that as we go forward.
And I probably can't leave this interview without asking, how are South Africans doing in India? And I know that the students at the moment are writing exams. Will they be vaccinated in a few days, or are you talking about evacuation plans?
Mostly we're talking about vaccination plans to ensure that everyone keeps to the COVID protocols, avoid the crowds, keep safe, wear your mask all the time, and do those basic protocols that will save you. But over and above that, of course, we are ensuring that everybody, as of this week, from last week, but as of this week, to get everybody vaccinated, I think that will put everybody in good state.
All right, Ambassador, thank you so much for your time. That's where we have to leave it for this afternoon.